of faster driving. Right, first traffic jam of the day. We're about 15 miles away from Bordeaux, and it's 10 to 9, so, you know, we've had a good run. Although, I'm just wondering if this is because everyone's going into town for Saturday night out, and they're going on the boozer, which is where we should be, I think. So, I'm going to sign off. Day 2, and the first job was to refill the tank. We've done Madrid, Bordeaux, 500 miles. We've nearly done it on the, well, in fact, we have done it on a tank of juice. We averaged about 36 miles per gallon, and I won't tell you what our average speed is, because that might incriminate me. Despite another full day in the saddle, I was still liking the 3 Series, and the next stop was Le Mans. The famous 24-hour racetrack is largely made up of public roads, including the famous Mulsanne Straight. A race car would bomb down here at over 240 miles an hour, and I'd love to have stayed for a mooch around, but with a ferry to catch, we've got to get after it. There wasn't much room for manoeuvre with our itinerary. We thought we could do it on 2 tanks of diesel, but some spirited driving had increased consumption and forced an unexpected pit stop. Then there was further delay getting through the final péage. We're we're a bit up against it. We've got to be there at 10 o'clock, and it's 9:36 at the minute, and we're about 50 miles away, 45 miles away. So, mental arithmetic, that means we've got to average about 90 mile an hour to get there. I don't condole breaking the speed limit at all, but I think this stretch of road between where we are now and where we're going to go to is unlimited if you drive an English registered car. I think. I'll just ask this man. Is this unlimited down here, mate? It is. Thank you. Great. Thanks for that. There you go. Only joking, but we did find a shortcut and made it. Just. I'll tell you how you know what a good car is. A good car is a car you can do 1,000 miles in 2 days. Which is pretty hardcore driving. We've not been hanging around. We've done all sorts. We've been in country lanes, on motorways, on fast day roads. We've done all sorts, and I'm not overly tired. My back's not sore. My bum's in good order. You know, this isn't a £50,000 executive car. This is an entry-level executive car. I think that's pretty cool. I would have preferred a bit more economy, and think it's a shame it's more expensive than its rivals. But overall, I was mightily impressed. Stick around for details about how you can win a brand new one of your very own.
That's the Irish Sea, this is a Welsh island, so you've guessed it, we're back in Anglesey for another of our infamous shootouts. This week's shootout is about 2 premium brand sports cars, both from the same manufacturer and both with very similar names. Only a K separates them. But the question is that K special? This is the new rip-snorting version of Mercedes' small sports car, the SLK 55 AMG. It has a ridiculously large 5.4-litre V8 and a hefty 360 brake horsepower. And at £50,000, it's cheap. Compared to this, the £96,000 SL55. This car uses the same engine as the SLK, but it's supercharged, so delivers a monstrous 500 brake horsepower. But it's also quite a bit heavier, so which one is going to be the quickest? Let's find out. First up, the Tibbler. The SLK only comes with an automatic gearbox, boo and hiss, but this one is a trick 7-speeder. The SLK is beautiful to look at. Sadly, on the track, it doesn't live up to that beautiful, sporty exterior. The steering wheel is so big, it's just incredibly bulky. And these seats, well, yes, they bolster me in, but when I'm snicking around these hairpins and stuff, my elbows keep banging on the side. And the most annoying thing of all, traction control, when you can't turn it off completely. Do you know what? I think I'm going to have more fun living walking around this track than I am in this car. Time for a flying lap. The SLK is undeniably fast, but in the end, the driving experience is just too numb and left me cold. The The SLK sets a time of 54.23 seconds. Let's see if the big boy can beat it. The SL55 has an automatic gearbox, but it has 5 gears as opposed to the K's 7. You can change gear on the back of the steering wheel or down by the lever. What the is that? Oh, right. That thing that's just popped up, that pops up when the car thinks that you are going to roll over. So a little roll bar just pops up, and quite frankly, if it doesn't pop up, you're not trying hard enough. And on that note, time for a quick one. The SL is much less prone to understeer and leads the SLK by 4/10 at the radar complex. At the hairpin, the SL is a bit more tail happy, allowing the SLK to slightly catch up. In the end though, brute power wins the day, but only by 0.3 of a second. The SL is much sweeter handling than the SLK. It's just a shame it costs twice as much.
You saw me earlier drive 1,000 miles in 2 days in this new BMW 3 Series, and we've decided to give away a brand new 320D for this week's competition. It's a car worth nearly £23,000, and to be in with a chance of winning, all you have to do is answer this simple question. Where are BMW based? Is it A, Germany, B, Spain, or C, France? Call 090 15 9955 to enter, or text GEAR plus A, B or C to 81555. Lines close at midday on Monday the 4th of April. We'll remind you of the numbers at the end of the show. You can enter the competition via our website, where you'll also find details of our brand new download feature. We're on our way to get the inside story on a secret research facility. It's in the far north of Swedish Lapland, on the very edge of the Arctic Circle. It's 150 miles from the nearest town, but has been called the winter car testing capital of the world. For most of the year, Arjeplog is gripped in a harsh winter. Between October and May, the temperature never goes above freezing point. The record low for this area is minus 52 degrees. This morning it's a relatively mild minus 10 degrees centigrade, but for the residents of Arjeplog, the colder the better, because as soon as the huge lakes that surround the town ice over, they become the perfect place to test cars. Arjeplog is the size of Belgium, but home to just 2,000 people. During the winter test season, the population almost doubles, as engineers and test drivers from every continent come to see if their cars work in the most challenging conditions on Earth. They'll fine-tune the handling, check the reliability of the electrical systems, and perhaps do a spot of driver training. It all started back in 1973 when 3 local pilots cleared some snow off of Lake Hornavan to make a runway. There were some representatives of Opel staying in a local hotel who went down and asked if they could drive on this new runway to do some brake testing. No problem, they said, and word soon got around that the folk of Arjeplog didn't really seem to mind what you did. Now, I'm told the ice is about 1 metre thick and can take a load of 22 tonnes. I just hope that they're right. Because later we'll be on the lake carrying out some extreme testing of our own. Arjeplog's thriving economy is based entirely on car testing. There are some 500,000 hotel bookings a year, and the best accommodation has car parks where you can plug in auxiliary heaters. The Silver Hatton is where most of the car testers stay. There are Germans, Italians and Japanese, Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, Toyota. But having expected the best test drivers in the world, there's a story in the local paper about the lady who drives the school bus complaining of all the prototypes skidding around the corners.
But by and large, the locals ignore the prototypes, and it's that confidentiality which really attracts the car makers. The natives may see stuff 5 years before us, but they've learnt not to be curious about the heavily disguised models. One of the major forces here are Bosch, who work with 34 different manufacturers. The things they've created here underline just how important the town is. Anti-lock brakes, traction control, and the electronic stability program ESP were all invented here. Over the years, those systems have supposedly been refined, so we've decided to put each system to an extreme test to see exactly how much they can cope with. Well, I haven't come all this way not to have a play. First up, ABS, the system that prevents your wheels from locking like this when you brake. One of the hardest things for ABS to do is stop you on an icy hill. Without ABS, this happens. But with the latest ABS now engaged, will the results be any more controlled? Yes, undramatic, but very impressive. ABS stops your wheels slipping when you're braking. Traction control stops your wheels slipping when you're accelerating. But will it work driving uphill? These huts shield specially prepared gradients of ice from the sun, are the perfect place to test. This is what happens when the traction control is switched off. No traction control! No traction! Come on! Come on! Alright, I'll dip the clutch. Proper driving technique for ice. Very gently. Gently. Right, I'll take a run at it. That's it. No matter what I tried, the front-wheel drive X-Type wasn't going up. But turn the traction control on, and power is automatically restricted so the tyre's grip is never overwhelmed. The hill is conquered with no fuss at all. Nobody knew what would happen in our final test, except that it would need a large runoff area. To test the electronic stability program ESP, we headed onto a frozen lake the size of central London. You could probably just spot me in the distance. ABS and traction control stop wheel slip in a straight line, but ESP stops you skidding sideways. Just 1% of drivers know how ESP works, yet I think it should be fitted on every car. The test is to try and swerve round one obstacle, then a second, and then a third. To begin with, we'll keep the ESP turned off. Right, I'm driving down the motorway at 70 miles an hour. I'm going to suddenly be faced with an emergency avoidance situation. I've got no ESP, and I'm on sheet ice. Hold tight. This one.